Greetings, my name is Anthony Johnson and I'm a malware efficacy integration engineer on the integration team based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this is the Trusteer Pinpoint criminal detection demo. And in this scenario, we're going to focus on suspicious access following an access from a malware infected device. And here we're going to profile the victim's legit device, and as the victim we're going to log in from an infected browser. Now the behind the scenes sequence story is that the malware stole the credentials and sent them to a malicious CNC, and as the fraudster we're going to use the victim's now compromised credentials to log in from a new device and try to send money to a mule account. And we'll show how Pinpoint helps prevent the fraud and show that the legit user is still able to conduct business. So with that said, here we go. Now the browser we have in front of me is the victim's browser. So we will ensure that the victim is not infected, Grease Monkey is not active. And also what we want to do is make sure we delete the identifier cookie. Done. And now what we want to do is navigate to the main application page, and that will be and here we go. And also for good measure, we want to make sure, there we go. So from there, now we are going to log in. All right. And we're in. And from here, we can easily see that the client browser was detected as not infected with any live financial malware. And now what we're looking at, let me back up here. This is the backend console, and the console shows real-time API results that are displayed in a readable format along with raw API data shown from Pinpoint malware detection, Pinpoint criminal detection, and also you can see the Pinpoint criminal detection attributes. The three fields we're going to focus on here is fraud detection status, and this status right now is allow login. This means that no security threats were found with the associated client session. It's going to allow all account activities without restrictions. Now the next one is the live financial malware infected detection status. And this status is not infected, which means the client web browser was detected as not infected with a live financial malware infected browser malware. And the actionable bank policy thus is allow online transactions. So with that said, let's go in and let's check out some stuff. So let's go into the manage payee section, and we're going to add a new payee. As we can do it right here. So let's call this one test user 111 underscore 1111. Account number will be 1111, and we're going to add them. Now if we look on the payee list, we can see our test user 111 is right there. And now we want to send some money to this test user. So if we go to send money and we look at the select payee list, we can see that our test user is here. We're going to enter a cool amount of $1,000. Select date is now, and we're going to send that money. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to send money to an incidental payee using IBM. So we'll click on incidental transfer, and we'll go test user underscore 1112, and this time we're going to enter an amount of $2,000. The select date is now, and the IBAN number is 1112, and we're going to send. And as you can see here, the money was sent successfully. And as we look back on the My Account page, Once it finally comes back, we can see that the money sent to test user 111 and 1112 for $1,000 and $2,000 were sent successfully. And looking back in the console, we can see that for each page that we went into, the detection status was allow login. The malware infection detection status was not infected, meaning the browser was detected as not infected with any malware, and thus the actionable bank policy was to allow online transactions. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to log out of here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change the user status of the browser to infected. And how we're going to do that is we're going to enable Grease Monkey, and we can see here that it is. And now, as we're still on the login page, what we're going to do, we're going to log in. This over here, there we go. And we're going to use the same username and password that we did before, and this time it's going to show us, let's see what it shows us. All right, and now we're in. Here, now we can see the fraud detection status is allowed login, and this time the malware infection detection status is infected, meaning the client browser was detected as infected with a live financial malware infected browser malware, and the actionable bank policy is disable adding new payees, disable incident transfer, and monitor the account. So now, if we go into the banking application and we go to manage payees, let's see what happens. As you can see here, we have a system message, and what you need to understand is that the demo banking application applies the business logic on the fly based upon Pinpoint's recommendations. Now, the recommendation here, and it's going to go by the actionable bank policy, is to disable adding new payees. Also, one of the things is disable instant transfer. So if we try to go to send money, look what happens. We can't do it. Now, this is also a feature of the actionable bank policy, meaning that you won't be able to send money, and that is based upon the malware infected detection status being infected, and that is because the client web browser was detected as infected with a live financial malware infected browser malware. And from there, what we're going to do is log out. Okay, and just to recap real quick, the fraudster logged in with the victim's stolen credentials. Trusteer Pinpoint criminal detection detected and alerted. As we saw here, it detected and alerted, being that the client browser detected an infection with malware, and it took action via the actionable bank policy, which in turn disabled adding payees, disabled the instant transfer via when we clicked on sending transfer, we got the system message and monitor the account. And with that said, with the monitor the account, there were you can configure Trusteer Pinpoint criminal detection to send an email to the administrator or the administrator group to take the appropriate action as such. So now, if we go back to the banking, we go back here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go back here and we're going to disable Grease Monkey, as we did. And we're going to navigate to the login page. And we're going to show you that even after the credentials were compromised, the victim who is the legit user is not blocked from adding any information or be able to send money to an incidental payee with a non-infected legit device. So let's log in. Password. And let's put the credentials. And we're in. So if we go back and look here, look at that. Allow login, not infected. So now, as you can see, the client browser was detected as not infected with a live financial malware infected browser malware, and the actionable bank policy is allow online transactions. So if we go back and look here, we can look and manage payees. We're able to add a payee if we wanted to, payee account number. If we go to send money and go to incidental transfer, we're able to enter names, amounts, the IBM number, and also we can send money to an existing payee. And this is the Trusteer Pinpoint criminal detection demo, focusing on the suspicious access following an access from a malware infected device. My name is Anthony Johnson, and thank you for watching.